Book report. It's a book report. It's a book report about a movie. 'Cause that makes sense. What's up, everybody? Jesse and Jeff here. No Alex. We're doing a new segment called Book Report, bringing you back to the fourth grade when you trembled in front of the class. Hopefully didn't pee your pants, but if you did, we forgive you. Is that a good intro? Probably not, right?
I actually did pee my pants in front of the class during show and tell once.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
No,
Sorry.
it's hilarious. It's not sad.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, you probably didn't find it funny at the time.
I don't know. Probably not. I don't really remember. I just remember like it happening. But I remember why it happened, and that's why I think it's hilarious. Is because we were doing show and tell, and we had to do these like these little like bios about ourselves and everyone's favorite food. Everyone chose pizza. And I was upset that everyone chose pizza because I was sensitive as a little kid, because I was like, I wanted pizza, and now I'm going to look like I chose what everyone else wanted. So I got really like upset.
You didn't think fast and like modify it to pasta?
Man, I wasn't as slick as I am today, as everyone knows me for now. So knowing all these names and getting them all correct all the time. But yeah, I just remember peeing my pants. I was scared because I didn't want to tell everyone my favorite food was pizza.
Was also pizza.
Oh
You're afraid of like fitting in.
It's so hilarious.
That's really funny, actually. Yeah.
Shit. Anyway,
yeah. Today, for our first little book report, we are going off. I forgot actually to talk about this on our last episode. I was going to give a book report on RocknRolla because I've been going through the Guy Ritchie verse of things I haven't seen. And I was like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity for me and Jeff to just talk shit for a little while about RocknRolla, the follow-up to Guy Ritchie's 2005 film. Was it 2005 that was Revolver? Yeah. Yeah, it was, which was, as I said on the episode, on the Green Knight episode, it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's awful. 0. I give it a 0. And Jeff was like, RocknRolla is really good though. And so I watched it, and you're right, my friend. It's pretty good. I will say it's no Lock, Stock, and it's no Snatch.
No.
It doesn't have the cohesion of those movies, and it's not nearly as funny, but it is like a really good time. And I was thinking about, right before we started record, I was like, how am I going to sum up this movie? Because what I'll usually do is give a short plot synopsis, or I'll sometimes do that, I guess. With this one, it's like almost impossible. You're going to have to help me because, I saw a review. I know the
plot really well, actually.
I saw a review that was amazing, and it said, some movies go off on tangents. This movie is nothing but tangents.
Yep.
And I thought that was completely correct.
It's so true. Yeah. This movie is, I love RocknRolla in such a different way. Like in a way, it is Guy Ritchie's typical style of like a great ensemble cast. I mean, let's just talk about the cast first.
Well, are you able to summarize it in a way that I can't for people who might not have seen it?
Oh yeah. Oh sure. We want to do that right away? Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, so basically, wow, okay, here we go. So there's all these different, like just like in a typical Guy Ritchie movie, you start with all these different groups. So you have a small group of gangsters with Gerard Butler, Idris Elba, Tom Hardy, and they're like just kind of like low rent gangsters. You have a bigger gangster played by he's that guy, Tom Wilkinson, Lenny Cole. He's the bigger gangster. He's the guy you gotta like talk to get all the shit done. So basically the Idris Elba and Gerard Butler and they all have these cute and like kind of British like gangster nicknames like 1-2
Mumbles,
Archie,
Handsome Bob,
Johnny Quid, and all that stuff. So
Johnny Quid.
Yeah, so 1-2 and Mumbles realize that like the real estate game is like where the big money's at. So they try to get into the real estate scam game with Lenny Cole. Turns out Lenny Cole already has his own like kind of back alley scam going on where he like sets these people up to fail and then now they owe him money and he's got to collect. And in typical Guy Ritchie way, all of these plot lines start to intersect. Now, Lenny Cole is dealing with a Russian mobster that wants to get a building permit because that's his deal. Is he's like kind of the real estate kingpin of London, and so the Russian mobsters kind of getting involved with him, and then you have like the accountant that's the Russian mobster's accountant that's like trying to like get a little more of a thrill on life. So she was like trying to set up the money transfer between the two bigger gangsters, and then
she was in a bunch of movies. She was in a bunch of movies like around this time, and then I never saw her again. Like she was the love interest in Mission Impossible 2, which I had just watched before this one, and I was like, oh, it's her.
Yep. I mean,
anyway,
I can go on and on. I'm not going to go and explain the entire movie now that I'm like just hearing myself rant.
It's a big old
it's a big
caper.
Guy Ritchie crime drama where like all the characters who owe another character end up paying them by robbing them in a different way. You know, it's in that same Guy Ritchie thread where like all of this crime is very localized, very community almost, where you always end up robbing your friend or your neighbor or your fellow criminal because it's all just so tight knit, and it makes this movie very cute. And that's what I loved about RocknRolla is it's less serious and more just like a fun, almost cartoony romp through this Guy Ritchie verse. And I don't know, it has a special place in my heart. It's a very silly, complicated Britishy plot, but everybody just kills it. All the actors, it's a stacked cast. All the actors are like, it has a lot of memorable lines. You got Mark Strong as Archie, which I love Mark Strong. He's one of those great like hard man British characters with the Archie slap and everything like that. Like there's a lot of quotable, memorable moments, and it's just a great, cute movie. And I'm really happy you like it, honestly.
I do like it. Like I said, it's not up to the Lock, Stock, and Snatch standards, but it is Guy Ritchie returning to what made his movies good. I mean, it's basically, I would put it definitely in the same like canon as Lock, Stock, and Snatch. Revolver is its own thing, and I noticed something curious. I don't know what prompted me to research this, but I was like, he married Madonna. Okay, I'll just lay this out. He married Madonna in the year 2000, which is the year Snatch came out. And then he made two terrible fucking movies, Swept Away and Revolver. And then the year that he divorced Madonna is when RocknRolla came out. So I'm not saying that they're 100% related, but I'm not saying that they're not.
That's
either.
Hilarious.
I'll leave that up to the audience.
I mean, I don't know Madonna as a person, but I mean, being married to somebody as famous as her would probably be pretty difficult and stressful.
I have no idea.
So
man.
I have no implication for that, but I just think this is more of Guy Ritchie seeing the response to Revolver and saying like, no, I can do better. Like I can make that type of movie if you really want it. And I think he did. I think he did it really well. I mean, Toby Kebbell.
Wait a minute. You think that this is like him trying to do Revolver well?
No, I think this is him trying to like redeem himself for Revolver.
Okay.
I think this is him going like, I can do my style of movie still. Like I don't make shit movies. Like I can do the thing you know me for. I can still do it well. I can still make you laugh. I can still make you like connected to these fun and like whimsical crime characters. Like, I don't know. I think he nails all of those, like checks all of those boxes. It's just at a time where the love and I don't know, the nostalgia around that energy is long since dissipated.
Yeah. And that's something to mark as well. It's like, this does feel like a rehash in a sense. It's a good one. He's doing it well, but it is a lesser version of what he's known for. So I wonder if that's, is there like a little bit of sadness in that? I guess not, because he goes on to do all this other stuff, but it does feel like a backslide. It does feel like him being like, okay, sorry guys, sorry. I'm Guy Ritchie still. Let me make sure you know I'm still Guy Ritchie. I'm not going to do Revolver again.
I think that there's an element to that for sure. I definitely think that, I mean, Speaking of sadness, I mean, I don't know if would you agree that this is definitely his saddest version of this movie? Like,
Well, I haven't seen the stuff he does after this. I haven't seen any movie after this. I've seen Sherlock Holmes movies, but I haven't seen The Man from U.N.C.L.E. or King Arthur. Definitely have not seen Aladdin. Not seen The Gentleman. Haven't seen Wrath of Man. So I'm not sure if he tries to do this again or if he tries to do it successfully. I don't think he tries to do this again, from what I gather.
I don't know. Wrath of Man is a little bit like this.
Is it?
But it's
Okay.
It doesn't quite capture the same energy. It's dissipating more and more each time. But what I'm trying to ask is, out of the 3 movies, would you say out of the 3, like, because I consider these his 3 good crime ensemble movies personally.
Sure.
I would say
they're all
this
really
is
good.
the saddest one. Like, while the character's a little more whimsical, I feel like the character Johnny Quid, the couple little like monologues he has, and his character in general, this like decaying rock star. I don't know. I honestly think Guy Ritchie was trying to speak a little bit to himself right there. Whether known,
Really?
yeah, whether it was beknownst to him or not, I think there was a little bit of self-reflection there, like this idea of this fading, trying to capture this fading energy that you
That's an interesting question.
coveted so well. You know, I don't know, like I tend to project a lot onto Guy Ritchie because I kind of feel like he thinks the same way about these particular movies in his filmography than we do, because he's got to know like this is he can't be ignorant to the fact that like this is what makes him good, is like this type of film.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure about Johnny Quid, because the thing about Johnny Quid is like we don't see him give a fuck about the fact that he's a rock star at all. Like he's just, it doesn't factor into his like life or his mentality. He's just like addicted to the
Really?
pipe. He's stabbing motherfuckers, like, but at the same time, I've only seen this movie once, and there's a lot to process. Not in terms of like, it's not a heavy movie. Like, I wouldn't say it's overall a sad movie, if that's what you're getting at.
Well, I just wanted to like know what you thought about the cast itself. Like we've kind of teetered around this subject, but I really think that while the other casts in his ensembles were strong, I think Snatch being the strongest, of course. I think this one's really great. I think all of these characters play well into each other. At this time, they're all quite far along into their careers. And I think they all really don't try to outshine one another. They all play down their acting ability and just kind of play this great group of friends. I really felt, especially when like the handsome Bob character reveals his like he's gay.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
that was like a very real scene to me, as like somebody who wouldn't expect that from their friend, and also has like holds a little bit of tiny like homophobia as 1-2 did. You know, there's like, I don't know, there's a lot of very real moments between these cast members that I found was endearing.
Yeah. Did you have a question for me in there?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, what did you? I said that in the beginning. Like, what did you think about this cast?
I thought it was great. Yeah, I loved I love Tom Hardy specifically. I tend to really like Tom Hardy whenever he's in anything. And I would agree with that they all work well together. I think the people who really stole the show were Tom Hardy and Mark Strong, as well as Tom Wilkinson. He had a very bricktop personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
It was an interesting choice to have Gerard Butler in there, because he's like Action Man. You know what I mean? He's in like those Olympus Has Fallen movies where he just like saves the president.
Jason Statham, and Guy Ritchie works well with him in these other types of movies.
Yeah, but Jason Statham, like his first roles were in Guy Ritchie movies. He wasn't the Jason Statham we know until after he was in Lock,
That's
Stock,
true.
and Snatch. Yeah, so that's like his beginnings. Gerard Butler, I'm not exactly sure what he was doing at the time, but I don't think he's ever been much outside of like Action Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, definitely.
I haven't seen him in a lot of like quippy comedies, but he worked really well. I was very skeptical at first. I was like, wait a minute, Gerard Butler is the lead? But he won me over.
Yeah. No. I that's what I'm trying to really get at, is like the characters just kind of, they grow on you. They all have their own little quirks, and I guess it's a mix of two things. It's a mix of It's a good cast, and also it's like it's a bit of nostalgia. It's a bit of like yes, a little self-satisfaction that Guy Ritchie has brought another cast a little like with this same energy back, and that's I think a big play on it for me.
Yeah, it is very similar. If you like Snatch and Lockstock, this will be up your alley. And I was thinking like it's hard for me to consider what it would be like to watch Lock, Stock, and Snatch for the first time, and like even remember what that was like. I probably didn't think they were as funny the first time because I was probably just like wrapped up in trying to understand what the hell was happening.
Yeah,
Which I kind of gave up on with this movie. I was like, it'll all work out. Like it's just all tangents. So I was like, I don't think the plot even matters really. It's just gonna come together in some way, which it does, of course. Because if you've seen them before, if you've seen his movies before, like the good ones, you know it. Like you know from the off that this is that energy. Like you were talking about earlier, it being sad. I think like for a couple moments maybe, but I don't think there's any sadder moment than like Mickey's mom being burned alive in her fucking caravan or anything like that.
okay.
I guess the rock star. I don't know if Guy Ritchie was having like an introspective thing with that. I don't know. It's an interesting point you made earlier though.
I don't know. I just felt like the character Johnny Quid, like someone who bonded with rock and roll music to get through trauma, and kind of as that genre is beginning to fade and die, like he has to kind of come to the self-realization that he's nothing but like a crackhead and a nobody, and the only people that care about him are crackheads and nobodies. So he kind of is like having this kind of hard crash in life, and that's why he's just like, Johnny's not here. You're talking to the pipe.
Talking to the pipe, baby. I didn't even realize till the end that he was on crack. I thought he was on heroin.
No, yeah,
the whole movie.
Yeah, no, they're all like kind of like I don't know. There's, it's not very clear. They could be like smoking heroin if it was like pure enough, but I have no idea.
Whatever.
They were on the pipe. That's what it's called, is the pipe. But yeah, Tom Hardy's looking young. I don't know. I think a lot of the little side characters are great. The two Russian assassins, I think.
Oh yes,
hilarious.
Guy Ritchie really redeemed himself from the horrific action he had in Revolver that made me want to throw up. This movie has a really fun action scene where they have to fight off these just insane Russians.
These two Russian,
and it just goes on and on to the point where it's just like a comedy.
Yeah, it's so great. Well, they basically steal this like case of money twice, and so the Russian, the guy who's like trying to like get it to Lenny Cole is like, all right, make sure this time it gets there, and so he has them the money being sent by two just Russian-y Russians that you could ever like,
the most
just,
like gangster ass Russians you've ever seen, with all the things that go along with that.
Yeah, it's such a typical movie Russian. I love that scene. I've seen it 100 times and it still cracks me up. Them comparing scars in the car, and then I don't know, just all their like silly like the knives on his back.
Or when they find Gerard Butler and they are like dancing around naked with hats on.
I know,
like
I love
drinking.
it. Like Nazi music on, and like they're just like,
what the
we're for
fuck?
sure gonna fuck this guy. You're just like, what's going on? And Archie just comes
had some Pulp Fiction vibes on that one. For sure.
This movie just is an exciting little adventure. It's cute. It's funny. I don't know. I think it ticks
it's
all
fun.
the bells.
It does. Like we've said, it doesn't totally rekindle the magic. I don't think it's possible to, really, especially after 8 years, or now maybe, I don't know. Be curious to see him try it, but
Well, he did with Wrath of Man, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say, this goes into a question I have for you, Jeff, because I was going to do book reports on Guy Ritchie movies. I'm going to skip Sherlock Holmes because I've seen those, and we can give our review right now. They're okay.
Yeah, man.
So I was gonna do The Man from U.N.C.L.E., King Arthur. I'm not fucking watching Aladdin. Not happening.
You got it, dude.
The Gentleman and Wrath of Man. Do I gotta? Well, here's my question: Is do you want to do little book reports on these with me?
Do you want to do a hate? I'll do a hate cast on Aladdin with you for sure.
You will? Okay.
No, I'm not gonna watch any of those other ones.
None. You're not. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll do those on my own.
I'll do like a hate report with you on Aladdin.
Oh man, I'll have to consider if I even want to.
No, you should. We should watch it together. You should come over and we watch it together, and then we just like put its head on spikes on an episode.
How long is it? How long is this fucking thing? 2 hours.
I know. Knowing you, you'll find the director's cut.
It's too soon. I don't want to watch the director's cut of Aladdin. I'd rather watch the director's cut of In the Name of the King.
That's crazy. I would much rather watch Aladdin than In the Name of the King, and I haven't even seen Aladdin.
Well, you may regret this. I fucking see. This is the thing. Like, outside of like the Marvel stuff, I really don't ever want to watch Disney, and I don't like Will Smith.
That's the thing. Like, you need to fucking like eat a little fucking crow. You know, you need to like suck down a little bit of this like shit Slurpee that you make everyone else eat constantly.
Well, see, you can make that happen. You have the power of choice. But I don't want
to like subject people to an entire episode with Alex and everything about something I'm trying to exclusively make you uncomfortable about. Like, that's not
no. That's not the only goal. That's just an extra. That's a plus. I just know that certain movies, like In the Name of the King, are gonna make a pretty good episode.
Let's just watch it together and then shit all over it.
Okay, so later this week we'll hang out and we'll watch Dead Alive and Aladdin together. Sound good?
Yeah, sure.
Because that's our next episode.
Little shit double feature. Oh my god, I hate my life.
What? You know, like you've seen Dead Alive, right?
I have. If I have it, I have no memory of it.
Oh, sweet. Oh, I'm really excited now then.
Yeah, I have.
It's legitimately, I'm not kidding when I say it's one of the greatest movies ever made and one of my favorites.
All right.
It's fantastic. So. All right. So Aladdin and Dead Alive sounds great. Spoilers, like, maybe. I'm not sure when this is coming out.
Who knows?
But
doesn't matter.
You look forward to it. It doesn't matter.
Chop this episode to pieces.
Watch what are we talking about? RocknRolla.
Watch RocknRolla. It's good.
Watch RocknRolla. It's good. Book report over. See you later. Book report. It's a book report. It's a book report about a movie. 'Cause that makes sense.